So one of our great sponsors here, of course, for It's Still Real to Me, Matthew Maschler, signature real estate finder, but also co-chair, founder, BRCW, Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. But Boca Raton Championship Wrestling stepping out of their territory. They're going to be in Miami this Thursday night, Cruisin for a Bruisin 3 at the Pullman Hotel in Miami. Matthew, always good to see you. How you doing?
Always good to see you. Yeah, Thursday, January 30th. There's still a few tickets left at Boca Raton Wrestling or BRCW.com.
So, Cruisin for a Bruisin 3. So, tell everybody who doesn't know, the idea 3 years ago for this show first came about how?
So 4 years ago, we were on the Jericho Cruise. That would have been the third Jericho Cruise. I've been on all five so far, and people started talking about like meeting up the night before. So I remember even the first Jericho Cruise, there was talk about a meetup. So there was really there hadn't been a meetup. It was the third Jericho Cruise. There hadn't been a meetup the night before. All these people coming from all over the world coming into Miami. So I was just talking to some of the people, people from all over, and I say, hey, let's do something the night before the Jericho Cruise next year. And then one of the guys, original, since Cruise One, Des Levine, he runs Totally Arctic Wrestling up in the Arctic Circle, Northwest Territories of Canada. And I said, Des, if I do a show the night before the Jericho Cruise, you want to be on it? He goes, definitely. So I got the idea to do the show. Now, the problem is we did it in Boca, so it was a little too far from Miami. Des wrestled Cheeseburger. Des lost. It was a hair match, and Brutus took his hair. But we had it in Boca. I'd say we had about 25 or 30 people come up from Miami for the show, which is nice. But it really wasn't a thing. So the next year we decided, it really has to be in Miami. And I was looking all over for venues, and I was working with my partners at CCW, and I couldn't find the right venue. And I like to do hotel ballrooms. It's the right space for me. And I was looking at, some of the name brand hotels, the Marriott Hiltons of the world. Couldn't find one I like. Stumbled across this hotel called the Pullman. Never heard of it. Never heard of the brand. And we went inside, and they had a great ballroom. So we did it there. They were wonderful to work with. Really, they appreciated the business. So I always ask after, like, from my perspective, if I liked working with them. I know if I liked working with them. I always like to find out if how they liked it, if they want us back. So they were very well receptive, and they appreciated the business. So we decided to. So that was the second one. Des couldn't come, but he brought his Totally Arctic Wrestling champion, the Nolar Bear.
Okay.
His name was Noel. So, but then we had the Righteous, and we had Matt Riddle. And we had a lot of great matches. Frankie Kazarian, who'd been on every cruise, and he wasn't booked for the fifth match, but we got him on our show, which made all the fans in attendance go, "Oh my goodness, he's going to do the cruise." So he came on the cruise. He was a surprise for everyone on the cruise. And got in the 6-time cruisers photo with us on the cruise. So it was a great pre-party. I'd say we had about 70 cruisers out of that on that one. Maybe 25% of the audience was coming in for the cruise. The rest was our Boca fans or local Miami wrestling fans. This show, of the 260 tickets that I sold so far, 75% of them are cruisers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and people, because I look at where they're from, right? New Zealand and Canada and everywhere, all the different states that people are from, and England and Ireland, and
So if there are people who are going to the Jericho Cruise and they're listening right now, BocaRatonWrestling.com, BRCW.com, Cruisin for a Bruisin 3, Thursday night, January 30th. You come check out. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup here. You got a bunch of names here that everybody knows. I'm looking right at, obviously, Matt Riddle. You got Ash by Elegance.
She's AJ, champion.
Ash by Elegance. She's the women's champion now.
Yeah, women's champion, yeah.
Yep, AJ France. I feel like Matt Riddle, who is one of your tag team champions, is Matt Riddle like officially a part of your roster? He does all your shows now, right?
Yeah. We've actually been friends since his time in NXT. So sometimes he would come to the shows, just hang out in the locker room. So then, when his non-compete was over, the first show we had him on was the Cruise last year, and then we decided why not, make him our tag team champions. Him and Kurt Stallion, and Kurt Stallion's been with us since the beginning.
Now, the Jericho Cruise obviously has a bunch of AEW folks, Chris Jericho. Is there any chance we see some folks, like, could we get any surprises maybe at Cruisin' for a Bruisin' 3 on Thursday night?
Well, anyone who's familiar with my brand knows I tend to under-promise and over-deliver.
Yeah.
And yet I still promise a lot. I do like the surprises. If what's it called? If last year we had the tag team match was a surprise. It turned out to be the Righteous. I was hoping for a pop when they entered, but because they did autographs at the meet and greet beforehand,
yeah,
it was still good. I got individual pops, right? As
Okay.
people came in, oh my god, the first thing they saw, oh my god, the Righteous.
Right.
And then Frank Kazarian, I got the pop for the whole room. So yeah, there'll be some surprises. Certainly in the Battle Royal. It's
Now,
more of a
okay,
Rumble
so let's
style.
talk about that. You got the High Seas Rumble,
Yeah.
so that's a battle royal. You're saying how many guys we
Rumble
got?
style. It's a Rumble style.
It's Rumble
90
style,
seconds.
okay.
Rumble style. 90 seconds.
All right,
Yeah.
and how? Okay, so we've talked in the past about what it's like booking these shows. Now booking a Rumble battle royal type match. How has that experience been for you?
So part of it is because it's Royal Rumble weekend, and people going on the cruise are not going to be around for the Rumble. So I wanted to do that. Was kind of a tie-in, and it's also there's two wrestlers that the Dynamite Kid and Kid Chocolate that were announced for the cruise that we're putting in the Rumble, and it was just a way of getting we have some of our local indie wrestlers that are on the show that are going on the cruise that I wanted to feature, and some friends of mine. So it's a good way to do that. But it was really an homage to the fact that it was Royal Rumble weekend, and I just thought it would be a good way to everybody's going to know that it's Royal Rumble weekend, right? It's Thursday night. The Rumble's in 2 days, so it was a nod to that. It was a good way to feature a lot of my talent, and especially that are going on the cruise. Cha-Cha Charlie's coming on the cruise, and Big Boy Patty, and some of the other guys that are going on the cruise. Certainly, Big Guns Justin Andrews, who I met on the cruise. He's an independent wrestler, and he did the show last year because Darian beat him down. So he's in the Rumble. So yeah, I'd expect some surprises in the Rumble, and then there should be some other fun surprises.
Now you're going to be on, and like you said, a bunch of folks who are going to Cruisin' for a Bruisin' 3 are going to be on the Jericho Cruise, which always coincides with Royal Rumble. So I know Jericho has his matches all set. He books a card, each night on the cruise. Are folks on the ship also like watching Royal Rumble on their phones?
I did see there was a lounge last year. Someone had brought a laptop or an iPad, and you see 50 guys hanging around an 18-inch screen. They certainly can't broadcast it, but I think a lot of people were watching it streaming.
Now you're a guy who folks you're one of the recognizable guys. You and Neil are one of the recognizable guys. You're at a lot of the big WWE shows. You sit as close to the front ringside as you possibly can. But you don't do that anymore now for Royal Rumble. Obviously, you're on the cruise. You're doing Cruisin' for a Bruisin' 3. Do you have any favorite Royal Rumble memories being in attendance when you were able to go to attendance?
I've only been to one Royal Rumble.
Really? Which one?
So a lot of people think I go to a lot of events. I go to WrestleMania, and I say I'll fly out of state for one other of major premium live event or pay-per-view, right? So I've done SummerSlams a few years in a row. I've done some Survivor Series a few years in a row. So and then obviously there's always a Raw or a SmackDown in Florida.
Right.
So there might be 4 shows, 5 shows a year, but I'm recognizable. I'm wearing my suit, which it used to be my Miz gimmick, which people mistake for Paul Heyman. Now it's more of a Cody Rhodes gimmick, even though I don't have the 3-piece suit. I don't have the vest. I might work on that with my Cody Rhodes gimmick.
So which Rumble were you at, though? What's the only one you've ever attended?
I'll get there. So, but people say Paul Heyman because we're both Jewish, because otherwise.
Well, and I've seen you in a blue suit, and he wears blue suits a lot.
I made one for the cruise. I made a blue pinstripe for the cruise. They had Dress as Your Favorite Wrestler night. And I'm like, you know what? Let me lean into the Paul Heyman thing.
Yeah.
So I made a. I'm actually going to wear it to Cruisin for Bruisin. I'm going to wear it in the ring, and then I'll wear it on the cruise. So Royal Rumble. It was 2 or 3 years ago when it was in St. Louis,
Okay.
and I was on the phone with Neil, and I didn't, where are we going to watch it? And it was like 8 in the morning, and if I watch it at my house, the dog barks at the TV, and if I watch it at his house, the TV's too small. And I went on Expedia. I went to see if there's any nonstops to St. Louis. And there was like a 1 o'clock that was going to get us in on time. Maybe it was 12:30.
That's awesome.
I said to Wendy, I go, Wendy, my wife, I'm like, what do you think? And so we packed. We went to St. Louis. We went straight from the airport. Just checked our bags at the hotel. Went into the there's the Alamo Dome, I want to say.
Yeah.
And when we watched the Royal Rumble, we weren't on TV, but we watched, because we were about, maybe 15, 20 rows back.
I can't believe that's the only time you've been. I mean, I've been to 3 Royal Rumbles, the most recent being last year's. But wow, you've only been to one of them.
Great.
It's such a fun show.
The one. Yeah, every WrestleMania since 2012. Again, a handful of SummerSlams, a handful of Survivor Series.
And you got your tickets already for WrestleMania 41? You're all set this year?
I don't remember if I'm 8th row on the ramp or 15th, maybe 11th. I'm somewhere I'm on the ramp like I've been the last few years. Ticket prices have gotten out of hand.
Unbelievable.
I will say when I started in 2015 was the first time I've done the travel package with the good seats. That was out in California, and I couldn't bear to bring my binoculars and watch on TV. And someone's got to sit in those good seats. But the value of those packages with Raw, and then later they added SmackDown, and with NXT show, with Hall of Fame, with Access.
Is it a good value if you do it that way?
It was.
But not so much anymore.
It was also hard to do all the extras with different on sale dates. So this got me the whole package. But in 2015, I paid $3,500 for a 4th row seat. And it was Raw, Rumble, Hall of Fame, 2 VIP sessions at Accesses, 2 meals, certain meet and greets, and compare. If you were comparing,
you can't get only the seat for $3,500 now.
No. So it was expensive, but if you were comparing WrestleMania to the Super Bowl, right? It was good value. It was certainly expensive, but now that's how they're pricing. That's how Nick Khan, and that's how that's how they're pricing now. They're saying this is a premium product like the Super Bowl. Let's price it that way. But yeah, it was
incredible. I just looked the other day. I went online. I posted on Twitter as a joke. I clicked on the ringside 2nd row seats. I said, anyone buying? Anyone want to go with me? And the seats were $17,000 a piece.
For one night or for both nights?
Just for one night WrestleMania.
One night.
One night. Regular price ringside, $17,500. Unbelievable.
I made the mistake in Tampa. I bought a one-night ticket thinking it was a 2-night ticket.
Oh. And then you got to buy the next one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cruisin for a Bruisin 3, Thursday night, doors at 6, show at 6:30, January 30th, BocaRatonWrestling.com, BRCW.com. It's going to be a great show. And I know tonight, I see online you do the post for your Red Meat Lovers Club. I mean, listen, everybody loves meat. Tell folks how they can get involved with that and what you got going on there.
So RMLCclub.com, RML Club. It's only one C, so it's Red Meat Lovers Club.com, or just Google Red Meat Lovers Club. And then Wednesday night, January 29th, we're in Delray Beach at the Boxing Center. We have a meatball battle, 6 different restaurants competing to see who can make the best meatball. But it's in the Delray Boxing Center, so there'll be some boxing exhibitions. And usually the night before my BRCW shows, I'll take some of the guys that have traveled from out of town out to eat. So I'm bringing everybody, not everybody, but I'm bringing a bunch of the guys to this. It's a fundraiser for the George Snow Scholarship Fund. So we do college scholarships here in South Florida. And so it's boxing, meatballs, fellowship, friendship, and charity. So that'll be Wednesday night, and then I'm gonna head down to the hotel to help set up when that ends, and then I'll be in the hotel all day Thursday at the Pullman, and then we leave Friday. We sail away on the Jericho cruise, it gets back in Tuesday in my group. We're all gonna go to Miami Beach for one night just to extend the vacation a little bit and chill out on the beach.
This is a very big week starting for you on
I,
Wednesday. Is this your favorite week of the year? Everything you just described to me?
I think so. I turned a 4-night cruise into a 1-week vacation.
That's awesome. Anything else? Did we miss anything for Cruisin for a Bruisin 3? Meet and greets, anything like that for people who get there early?
If you're going on the cruise and you find out you can't get tickets, or if you're a listener to this show and you find out you can't get tickets, reach out to me. I do have a few house tickets that I will make available solely for listeners of this show and for people going on the cruise.
Awesome. Yeah. And for people listening, if you can't find Matthew on social, you hit me up. I get you in touch with Matthew. Very, very easy.
I'm a real estate broker. Say my name and I'll be there. Just Google Matthew Maschler and you'll have no trouble finding me.
Matthew Maschler, co-founder, chair, BRCW, Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, and one of our great partners here on It's Still Real to Me and Zaslow Show 2.0. Excellent job, Matthew. I'm looking forward to seeing you Thursday night. It's going to be really fun.
Yes. Thank you so much.